This conference will now be recorded.
Good afternoon, students. Wait for 5 minutes. So I given work to you yesterday class, but nobody submitted that assignment. Only one student submitted. What about remaining? Okay, students. I will start the class now. So in last class we derived the two models. One is belongs to the generator. Another one is one is belongs to the governor. Another one is turbine. Now we are going to design a generator model. So by adding these three models, then we can build up a block diagram which is related to the speed governing system. So let me see what we derived in the last class. So the block diagram which was derived from the governor model, that was given by kg divided by 1 plus stg, and it is getting the input by using the speed changer, and it is was given by delta pc or else delta xc, and it is a positive value. And there is a one feedback element is there, that is for regulation purpose 1 by r, and the output of the governor is given by delta xc, and it is also called as delta pv. So this is the governor model. Next turbine model is kt divided by 1 plus st, and its input is this one, and the output is delta pg of s. So that is this is the value which is given to the generator. Now totally from this equation we can make the block diagram. Kg divided by 1 plus stg, and it is coupled to the block diagram which was obtained from the turbine, kt divided by 1 plus stt, and the initial input is delta pc of s, and it is a speed regulation. So here the speed regulation of the system we can control by using the frequency. So this is the block diagram what we obtained in last class. It's a combination of speed governor and turbine model. Now today's class we are going to discuss about how we can derive the how we can find the model for the generator, and when we combine this generator block diagram to this, then we can obtain the total block diagram that is belongs to the single area system. So single area is nothing but a single unit, and a unit consists of three elements, three major elements. One is governing model, turbine model, and generator model. Based on these three elements, we can analyze that how the particular single area issue is working. So single area is nothing but a one generation is giving to the one load. So there is no contribution between the generation as well as loads. Okay, na? Now we will go to the topic. So today topic is generator model. It is the third model from the generating model. So now we are going to derive that modeling of a speed governing system. In that, generator model is one of the part. So now we are going to make that, derive that, and design that how the generator model will come. And here before modeling of generator, we had to assume we had to consider the two parameters. What are the two parameters is the first one is speed. So speed in the sense of how the generator is rotating. Based on that, we can get the electricity, right? Power, electrical power, and by using the feedback, it means that how much of power, how much of electrical power is generating by the generator, and it is given feedback in the terms of frequency. By using this frequency, and it is given as a feedback signal to the that is a governing model, and based on this frequency changes, the valve should be open. So that is the thing happening in the every power plant. Now we'll see that one by one. See, what is the while designing the generator model, we have to assume some assumptions. Let me see what are the assumptions we have. See here, to develop the mathematical model of an isolated generator. See, why it is called as isolated generator means before the generator is using for the load, we have to design that. So, but if the generator is working with respect to this much of speed, how much of power it will be delivered, that should be analyzed that. So before applying the real-time application, we should have to analyze that. That's why we are going to design a model which is isolated from the load, and which is only supplying a local load, and it is not supplying power to any other area. So I already told you that. So here this model is belongs to the only single area. Single area instances, one generator should deliver that one load, right? Now how the generator should be working based on the demand of real power. So delta PD. So this is the power demand by the load, and the generator has to be generated based on the delta PG. And when it should be working in proper condition, it means that when it will give the efficiency condition means when it is makes that energy balance equation is perfectly. So the energy balance equation is given by delta PG minus delta PD. So this is the equation we can apply at neglecting the transmission losses. When the system is obeying this condition, then our system should be working in a proper condition. So here delta PG in the sense how much of power they are generating. So suppose a generator should be generating 100 megawatt, and the load is 100 megawatt, and when both are satisfied this equation, then you will get 0. It means that the regulation of the particular generator should be high. Suppose if the capacity of the generator is 100 megawatt, but our load demand is 120 megawatt, you will get minus value. So at that condition, what we have to do, we have to make this equal to the load demand by increasing the valve from the governor. How we can send the message to the governor means by sending feedback to the governor in the form of frequency. So based on the frequency level, the governor should be working based on this value. The valve should be operating whether it requires more steam or less steam. Based on that, it should be working. See here, the net power, that is the power generating from the generator minus load demand, will be absorbed by the system in the two ways. So if you want to maintain this energy balance equation, it is required in the two ways. What are the two ways means? First of all, we have to improve the rotational speed. The first one belongs to the speed. Second one belongs to the frequency. So if you already, if you seen in the electrical machines 3, there is a different speed control methods of alternator, V by F control. We control like that. Inverter we control. There is some certain methods, right? So in that, what is the intention of that method means? We can control the generation from the generator by in the form of frequency. So this is the this frequency is possible in the thermal power stations, but in the case of speed, we can control this method in a hydro power plant and a wind power plant. We can control the generator with respect to the speed. So by using these two methods, we are going to derive the generator model. Right. See here, this is the first case. In the first case, by increasing the kinetic energy in the rotor at the rate of d by dt wk. So that is the kinetic energy work done. And what we are doing in this case means we are going to make the generator. We are controlling the generator in terms of speed and moment of. So these are related to the speeding parameters. Now the kinetic energy work done is given by H into PR. So H is a inertia constant and PR is a real power. So it means that how much of kinetic energy is available on the rotor, that much of real power will be generated. So and it is units is kilowatt per second, right? So it means that based on the how much of rotating speed happening in the generator, based on that the real power will be generated with respect to the inertia constant. So based on the inertia constant only, the rotor will be rotating in the free of condition. And so the inertia constant H is defined as the ratio of kinetic energy in the rotor to the MVA rating of the generator. So this is given by H. Now, what is the general formula for kinetic energy of MV square? So where we can use so generally the motion in two types. One is linear motion and circular motion. So when we are talking about linear motion, we are considering this kinetic energy equation. Kinetic energy is equal to half mv square. M is the mass and velocity of this object. Now, when we are considering that circular rotation, that is circular motion, we are talking about moment of inertia J and angular velocity. So this type of analogous parameters you are studying in the control systems, right? So in mechanical transfer system, the mass will be considered. The same system will be in considering the rotation system. You are considering the J. If here the velocity will come to the angular velocity. So these are the two analogous parameters with respect to the momentum, right? The same thing here. I am considering that omega, that is kinetic energy work done, is equal to half J omega square. So here J is called as moment of inertia and omega square is called as angular velocity. Now this is the kinetic energy. Now here how we can control the speed means there is only one way we can control the speed of the generator, and it means that how the controlling action would be making in the generator means by sending the frequency feedback to the governor. Based on this feedback frequency, the governor should be open or close the valve based on the requirements. It means that frequency is directly proportional to that how much of work done is happening in the generator. That's why it is given by this equation 1. The work done kinetic energy is directly proportional to frequency. So based on the frequency feedback, the kinetic energy will be involving in the generator. Now, so here the frequency, so it is a continuous process, right? So if the feedback is nothing but it is continuous process. So that is the intentional feedback we are involving in that method. So now if there is any changes in the frequency. So why? Because the load should not be constant. It is keep on going to change. Based on the load changing, the frequency feedback has to change, and based on the frequency feedback, the governor should be control the valve opening or closing condition. Now, based on this changing in the frequency, we can term it as equation 2, that is given by WK. So this is the initial condition. It is in running condition. So before at constant at starting condition, the kinetic energy is directly proportional to frequency. It means that whatever feedback frequency is giving to the governing model, and the governing model based on the frequency, then it will set that what is the level of valve should be open. Based on the level, the steam will be falls on the turbine blades, and turbine will be rotated with respect to the speed of the turbine. The generator will be operating. So that is the initial condition. So initial condition we are denoting that power 0, and it is a running condition. It is given by WKE and directly proportional to the rate of change of frequency with respect to the time. And by dividing these two equations, that is 2 and 1, we will get like this. So the finally, what is the changing of the kinetic energy with respect to the frequency? That is the thing we have to find out. Now from this equation, let me cross multiply this equation, and omega ke wke is equal to like this it will come. So from this, take the f naught is common, you will get 1 plus delta fi. So this term should be like it will write like this. Now it is in the form of a plus b whole square, and you can expand this equation in this. So if you think about that, in any differential equation, so ఎక్కడన్నా మనము rate of change of అనే ఒక వర్డ్ వాడినప్పుడు ఏమవుతుందంటే, we are always neglecting that higher order terms. We just only consider that first order differential equation. We are not supposed to use that second order differential equation. So we have to neglect it. So that's why while expanding this equation and by using the a plus b whole square formation, then you will get the equation like this. Now in this equation, delta f, the rate of change of frequency for second order system we are not considering. So it is completely negligible. So while neglecting the second order term, finally the kinetic energy at running condition is given is by this equation, WKE into 1 plus 2 delta F by F naught. So this is the case when we are considering that kinetic energy on the generator. Next we see one more second case. So after finding this equation, let me see what is the final equation you will get in the form first case. Right. So this is the equation is called rate of change of kinetic energy. So already we obtained that equation, right? What we obtained equation? Just note down this. I'm writing here. WKE is equal to W for not KE 1 plus 2 delta F divided by F naught. Now, if you want to find that increment, that is maximum condition, what we have to do? We have to differentiate. Now, differentiate WKE with respect to that type. Then what we will get? So when we are applying the differentiation to this equation, dWKE by dt is equal to, and this time we will get 0 because it is a constant value. And from this equation, 2 into delta omega W0 KE delta F is with respect to the differentiation with respect to time. Now, what is the equation of W naught KE? So which was found in the first equation. So is equal to H into, that is inertia constant into real power. If you substitute this equation, then this is the initial condition of, that is without any changing, that is lossless condition. We are applying this equation like this: 2H PR divided by F naught into d by dt delta F. So if you are getting that any problems based on this topic, you have to use this equation. So what they will ask means, what is the kinetic energy at initial condition, what is the kinetic energy at final condition, they will ask. And one more thing, they will ask to find that what is the system experience momentary power supply and what rate will frequency increases. So this type of, so frequency increases means what is the initial delta F, what is the frequency at initially, what is the final frequency when the load is changed. So that has to be you have to find by using the equation 4. So this is the case one. In that case one, we are going to form a equation with respect to the kinetic energy and how the kinetic energy is involved with respect to the frequency. Now we see the second case. As the frequency changes, the motor load changes being sensitive to speed. Now this is the what is the main intention? What is the main consideration in this case means? Now suppose what is the relation between that load demand and frequency? Suppose your load is 100 megawatt at 6 hours. So 6 hours duration interval, load is 100 megawatt. Now after 6 hours, the load may be increase or decrease. So based on the load demand, we have to change the frequency. So in this case, what we are going to find means how we can control that load demand with respect to the frequency in sudden changes, right? So in sudden changes, how we can control these two parameters with respect to the both on each other. Now that was given by rate of change of load with respect to the frequency. So based on the frequency, it means that based on the load, how the frequency will be working, and it is given by damping coefficient. So damping coefficient in the sense, if you see in the control system, this is the representation of dashboard, and it having the damping coefficient B. And what is the main intention of the device is it will controls that whatever input you are giving and whatever output is giving. Suppose first of all you are applying the force with respect to that 10 kgs mass. Now the same force you are applying for 5 kgs mass, but the force should be same. Here mass is different, but how we can control these different forces means by using the dashboard, that is damping coefficient. And damping coefficient is given by megawatts per hertz. It means that how much of power is generated with respect to the frequency. Okay, now the value of damping coefficient is positive for motor load. It means that when the generating value is more than the load, then it has a positive value. So when it is positive value, then it is considered as a motor load. So motor load is nothing but a inductive load. Okay, now so this has to be verified that. So it is never be considered as a negative value. Why? Because if it is considered negative value, then it is acting as a the generator acting as a motor. Okay, now so we should have to we should not make this value as a negative value. Now writing the power balance equation. So this is called as power balance equation, and by adding the two equations which was got in the case 1, case 2. So this is the equation we got from the case 1, and this is the equation we got from the case 2. So this is the equation with respect to the kinetic energy, and this is the equation the load demand with respect to the frequency. So by adding these two equations, we have to find that what is the transfer function we can obtain from this equation 5. Now this is the equation in terms of kilowatts. Why? Because the PR is represents the real power. So real power is always represented in the kilowatt. Now if you want to make this per unit, how we can make the per unit? By dividing all equation with respect to the real power, then we can make this equation 5 as a per unit value, per unit equation. See here, when we divide this previous equation with respect to that real power, then we will get the equation in terms of per unit value. So delta Pg per unit, that is power generated by generator. So what is the intention of per unit means? So first of all, the main advantage of per unit value means we have to design the reactance diagram, impedance diagram. What is the purpose of reactance and impedance diagram means to find out the loop values. If you find the loop values, then only you can make that, and you can analyze that what is the individual performance of each device that was connected in the loop. Okay, now మీరు ఇండక్టెన్స్ డయాగ్రామ్ రియాక్టెన్స్ డయాగ్రామ్ చూస్తే ఈ విధంగా ఒక లూప్ లాగా ఉంటుంది. సో ఈ లూప్ లాగా ఫామ్ కావడానికి మీరు రియాక్టెన్స్ వాల్యూ ఈ వాల్యూ కనుక్కోవాలి, బట్ దిస్ వాల్యూ షుడ్ బి ఇన్ టర్మ్స్ ఆఫ్ పర్ యూనిట్. ఓకేనా, దట్ ఈస్ ద యూజ్ ఆఫ్ పర్ యూనిట్ we are using in the power system. Now So this is the equation we obtained after in terms of coordinate value. Now if we applying the Laplace transform to the above equation, what you will get? Let me see. So this is the equation of when we applying the Laplace transform to this above equation. Delta Pg of s minus delta Pd of s equals to delta f of s is take common and into 2h by f naught. Here Laplace transform of first order differentiation you will get s plus b, right? From this equation, delta Fs we can write this one. Now finally, the delta Fs is equals to Pg of s minus Pd of s into Kp divided by 1 plus STP. So this is the transfer function of the generator model. Now here Kp is a 1 by d. This is the power system gain. And Tp is equals to 2h by df naught and power system time constant. Now, by using this equation, let me see how the generator block diagram will come. So, by using this sixth equation, so I am going to draw the block diagram. So, this is the transfer function of the generator, which was given by Kp divided by 1 plus STP. So here, how we can represent this equation here? Delta PD of s is minus value, and from here delta PG of s and it is delta f of s. Now clear about this equation, how we can convert this equation in terms of block diagram. Now by using this this equation 6, then I will going to draw the whole diagram, whole block diagram. So this is the first for governor block diagram, and it is turbine and it is generator. So initially we are giving the input to the governing model is delta PC, that is power changer of S. So it is also called as, you can write delta XA of S. And it is the governing model and it is denoted by kg. So just I am writing kg and it is kt and it is kp. And here the feedback is a frequency value and it makes the regulation value. So here delta f of s. So this is the block diagram representation of speed governing system. A speed governing system is a combination of three devices. The three devices are speed governor, turbine, and generator. For analysis purpose, we have to make the block diagram for individual unit. A unit is a consists of three parts. These three. Okay, now. So, what is the use of block on this topic means? So, before if you want to analysis of a power system, we just go to that. We before going to the application oriented, that is real time application. We just want to the analysis. So what is meaning by analysis means, suppose if the particular unit having this capacity and the load is this much of capacity, whether these two are capable or not, suitable for a particular unit is suitable for a particular load or not. We had to analyze that. That analysis was done by this type of method, and this is called as low frequency control method of a single area system. Low frequency control of single area system. So single area system is nothing but a one unit. It is a combination of three devices: governor, turbine, and generator. Now we'll see that what is the final block diagram we will get. So this is the block diagram for the this entire speed governing system, and it is called as single area system. See here, it is a combination. So just if you know this block diagram, then you can easily study that third unit. So third unit is completely depends on this block diagram. So if you know this diagram well, then it is easy to study that third unit. So that's why I am remembering that. So please concentration on this derivation. Then only you can understand that what we are going to discuss in the third unit. And one more thing, I will show you one. So let me see one problem on this topic. So that is the equation which was derived now. ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ కాన్స్టెంట్ అనే ఎప్పుడు కాన్స్టెంట్ ఉండదు. ఇట్ విల్ బేస్డ్ ఆన్ ద లోడ్. అంటే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ అనేది దేనిపైన ఉంటుంది? ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ అని మనం డైరెక్ట్ గా. సో బేస్డ్ ఆన్ ద వేవ్ ఫార్మ్ ఆఫ్ ద వోల్టేజ్. సపోజ్ ఇప్పుడు మీకు ఒక సైనసాయిడల్ వేవ్ ఫార్మ్ అనేది ఈ విధంగా ఉంది అనుకోండి. సపోజ్ దిస్ ఇస్ 1 and 2. ఓకేనా? సో ఇప్పుడు ఈ విధంగా 2 ఉంటే దీని యొక్క ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ అనేది పెరిగినట్టే కదా. సో సపోజ్ ద వేవ్ ఫార్మ్ షుడ్ బి ఇస్ అలౌడ్ టు ద 1. అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది? ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ తగ్గుతుంది. ఈ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ పెరగడం తగ్గడం అనేది దేనిపైన డిపెండ్ ఏంటంటే బేస్డ్ ఆన్ ద లోడ్. ఎప్పుడైతే లోడ్ అనేది కంటిన్యూగా చేంజ్ అవుతా ఉంటే ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ కూడా చేంజ్ అవుతూ ఉంటుంది. కానీ ఇక్కడ మన ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ సెట్టింగ్ అనేది ఎంత లోపు చేయాలంటే 50 Hz మాత్రం చేయాలి. సో వై? బికాస్ అవర్ ఎలక్ట్రికల్ సప్లై ఇస్ కేపబుల్ టు క్యారీ దట్ వాల్యూ విత్ రెస్పెక్ట్ టు ద, అంటే ఓన్లీ హాఫ్ సైకిల్ దాకా వరకే చేసుకోవచ్చు, 1/2. ఓకేనా? 50 Hz వరకే తీసుకుంటాము. దట్ ఈస్ స్టాండర్డ్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియన్ పవర్ సిస్టమ్ కెపాసిటీ. సో ఈ విధంగా లోడ్ చేంజ్ అయినప్పుడు ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ చేంజ్ అవుతుంది. దాని ఆ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీని మనం 50 Hz లోగా అడ్జస్ట్ చేసుకోవాలి. దెన్ ఓన్లీ ద ట్రాన్స్మిషన్ లైన్ షుడ్ బి క్యారింగ్. ఆపరేట్ చేయొచ్చు, బట్ ఇక్కడ కండక్టర్ ట్రాన్స్మిషన్ లైన్ కండక్టర్స్ అనేవి క్యాపబుల్ చేసుకోలేవు అంత ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీని. సో ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ కనుక ఇంక్రీజ్ అయితే ఆటోమేటిక్ గా కెపాసిటీ కూడా ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది. సో ఆ కెపాసిటీ ఇంక్రీజ్ అయినప్పుడు ఏమవుతుందంటే కండక్టర్స్ అనేవి బ్రేక్ డౌన్ అవ్వడం కానీ లేదా సమ్ లాస్ ట్రాన్స్మిషన్ లాసెస్ జరగడం కానీ జరుగుతుంది. ఓకేనా? సో ఈ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ అనేది దేనిపైన డిపెండ్ అయిందంటే బేస్డ్ ఆన్ ద మెటీరియల్స్ అండ్ బేస్డ్ ఆన్ ద ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్ కండిషన్స్, దట్ ఈస్ టెంపరేచర్, వెట్, డ్రై ఏరియా, లైక్ దట్. బేస్డ్ ఆన్ దట్ ఇట్ విల్ బి క్లాసిఫైడ్. ఓకేనా? కానీ ఇప్పుడు మీరు అబ్జర్వ్ చేస్తే కోల్డ్ కంట్రీస్ లో లైక్ స్విట్జర్లాండ్ అక్కడ కంట్రీస్ లో వచ్చేసి 60 Hz పెట్టుకుంటారు. సో ఎందుకు 60 Hz పెట్టుకున్నారంటే సో వెన్ ద ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీస్ ఇంక్రీజెస్ ద కెపాసిటీ, అంటే ఆ హీట్ కెపాసిటీ, ఫ్లోయింగ్ కెపాసిటీ అనేది ఎక్కువ ఉంటుంది. కానీ ఇక్కడ మనకు వచ్చేసి ఆల్రెడీ ఈ టెంపరేచర్ వల్ల ఏమవుతుందంటే దాని యొక్క రెసిస్టివ్ పవర్ అంటే తగ్గుతా వస్తుంది డ్యూ టు ద టెంపరేచర్. ఆ టెంపరేచర్ వల్ల తగ్గుతూ వచ్చినప్పుడు ఏంటంటే మనం ఎక్కువ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ కనుక జనరేట్ చేస్తే ఇట్ మే బి బ్రేక్ డౌన్. So that is the reason in Indian standard we are going to derive the we are going to generate the power with in terms of 50 Hz frequencies. Okay na? So ఇప్పుడు ఈ డెరివేషన్ పైన ఒక ప్రాబ్లం చూస్తాం. See here, for all the generators and motors in a real power system represent a total kinetic energy of 1500 megajoules as measured at rated frequency of 60 Hz. The system experiences a momentary power supply at 5 megawatt. At what rate will frequency increase? అంటే ఇక్కడ వచ్చేసి 1500 megajoules అనేది జనరేట్ చేస్తుంది టోటల్ కైనెటిక్ ఎనర్జీ విత్ రెస్పెక్ట్ టు ద జనరేటర్ మోటార్. నౌ ద సిస్టమ్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ మొమెంటరీ పవర్ సప్లైస్, అంటే 5 megawatts అనేది ఎక్కువ తక్కువ అనేది ఒక బ్యాలెన్స్డ్ కండిషన్, అంటే ఇన్బ్యాలెన్స్ జరుగుతుంది. అంటే కొంత టైం 5 megawatts ఎక్కువ, కొంచెం టైం 5 megawatts తక్కువ ఉంటుంది. సో ఇలాంటి కండిషన్ లో అట్ వాట్ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ ఇంక్రీజ్, సో ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ 60 Hz కన్నా ఎలా ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది? సో దట్ ఈస్ ద క్వశ్చన్ దే ఆర్ ఆస్కింగ్ హియర్. లెట్ మీ సీ హౌ వి కెన్ సాల్వ్ దిస్ ఈక్వేషన్. Generally, what is the variation happening in this condition? 5 megawatt. అంటే 5 megawatt ఇక్కడ ఎందుకు మొమెంటరీ అంటే ఏంటంటే జనరేషన్ కి లోడ్ డిమాండ్ కి 5 megawatts అనేవి బ్యాలెన్స్డ్ గా ఉంది. అంటే బ్యాలెన్స్డ్ అంటే డిఫరెన్సెస్ గా ఉంది. So in this condition, the differences between the generator and the load demand is 5 megawatt. So that was given here. Now the kinetic energy is given by 1500 megajoules and frequency they given. And already we have the equation, that is omega WKE is equals to W naught KE 1 plus 2 delta F by F naught. So here the rate of change of kinetic energy is given by, that is, so if you differentiate this equation with respect to the time, then you will get rate of change of kinetic energy. So ఇక్కడ వచ్చేసి దీని నుంచి, so this is the final equation, we have to be find what is the rate will be changing in the frequency. And so this is the rate of change of kinetic energy, and it is was given by 5 and 2 into they given the kinetic energy at initial condition 15 megawatt, and they given the 68 frequency d by dt, and we have to find out what is the value of delta F, that is rate what rate of the frequency will be increased. Now if you calculate this equation, and then you will get this rate of frequency changes. So this is the some models, they will ask the problems based on this. Okay na? So on the దీనిపైన కొన్ని ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఉన్నాయి, ఆ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ వచ్చేసి రేపు క్లాస్ లో చెప్తాను. తర్వాత on Thursday you have to write that strip test 2 on the unit 2. Okay na? Strip exam రాయాలి, that is strip test 2. So you have so don't forget, I won't be postpone this exam. So you have exam on Thursday on unit 2. ఎందుకంటే so there is only one class remaining for completing this second unit. There are few more. So మీకు సెకండ్ యూనిట్ లో గన్ షాట్ క్వశ్చన్స్ రెండే ఉన్నాయి. ఒకటి హైడ్రోథర్మల్ షెడ్యూలింగ్, సో దట్ ఈస్ ద పార్ట్ ఏ. సెకండ్ పార్ట్ వచ్చేసి స్పీడ్ గవర్నింగ్ సిస్టమ్. ఈ రెండు క్వశ్చన్స్ తప్ప వేరే క్వశ్చన్స్ ఏం రావు ఫస్ట్ యూనిట్ సెకండ్ యూనిట్ నుంచి. సో దే ఆస్క్ సమ్ టైమ్స్, రేర్ కేస్ దే విల్ ఆస్క్ ద ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఆల్సో. ఓకేనా, రైట్. So Miko, once again I will going to show you that how the speed governing system will be working. So based on that working condition, based on the frictionless. Just see this video, then only you can imagine that how the speed governing system will be working. So wait for few minutes. It is opening here. Students, do you have any doubts? Just give me the message, then I will clarify that. సో మీకు ఈ 2 years సంబంధించింది పీపీటీస్ వీడియోస్ మొత్తం మీకు గూగుల్ క్లాస్ రూమ్ లో అప్లోడ్ చేస్తాం. ఓకేనా, సో యూ కెన్ గెట్ ఫ్రమ్ దట్, అండ్ ఐ ఆల్రెడీ సెంట్ ద కంప్లీట్ మెటీరియల్ ఆఫ్ పిఎస్ఓసి టు యూ. ఓకేనా, సో మీకు మెటీరియల్ సంబంధించి అన్ని వేస్ లో మీకు ప్రొవైడ్ చేశాను. సో యూ హ్యావ్ టు బి స్టడీ దట్. ఇక్కడ మీరు అబ్జర్వ్ చేస్తే దిస్ ఇస్ ద రియల్ టైమ్ మెజర్మెంట్. See on top of the video there are rotating speed, oblique Q, working load, high load, low load. There are 3 measurements are there, right? So based on this condition, so they are keeping based on that what is the load and how much of speed we have to be set. So ఇప్పుడు మనకు ఇక్కడ 1000 rpm ఉంది. సో 1000 rpm అన్నప్పుడు ద జనరేటర్ నుంచి వచ్చే పవర్ అనేది ఏ లోడ్ సంబంధించింది అంటే లో లోడా, వర్కింగ్ లోడా, హై లోడా. సో ఇక్కడ ప్రతి లోడ్ ని 3 కేటగిరీస్ చేస్తారు. సో low load, working load, high load. High load is nothing but so in a particular day there is certain hours there is a peak load. So peak load అంటే ఎప్పుడు ఉంటుందంటే మార్నింగ్ అవర్స్ లో ఉంటుంది. అంటే హాస్పిటల్స్, ఇండస్ట్రీస్, ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్స్, కాలేజెస్, బ్యాంక్స్, సో all private sectors and government sectors are working in the day, morning, right? So at that time it is having that high load. At that condition, so they are keeping the measurement here based on this load. How much of speed should be rotating we can observe here. So based on this they are going to be measured is on continuous process. So on based on the statistics, the same procedure will continue for the tomorrow procedure. So it should be keep on going to be happening. So let me see that how this performance should be happening based on the load chosen and the speed of the rotation. See here, while choosing the load and it should be opening like that. So based on the load demand, we have to choose that. See, if it is high load, then the valve should be open. If it is low load, the valve will be closed. See, a valve is slightly going to be closed. At that condition, it should be going to the low load. And this entire mechanism should be based on that what is the linkage mechanism with respect to the what are the connections are happening in this mechanism. So based on this, so in if you observe this governor model, and it has the 4 parts. One is speed changer, governor, hydraulic amplifier, and steam valve. Among these 4, the most efficient device is fly ball wheel. So based on the fly ball wheel, then the mechanism should be linkage mechanism should be working in proper way. Is completely closed, then it should be showing the low load. When the valve is open, then it shows the high load. So based on this mechanism, we can control this speed governing system, and automatically due to this speed governing system, the turbine will be controlled and automatically generator also control. And this mechanism should be happen within a fraction of seconds. Then only we can maintain that load regulation. Right. So this is about modeling of a speed governing system. So now I am going to do you have any doubts on this topic? Right. So we are going to do some problems based on the load sharing. So in the first unit we did the load sharing problems, right? But here also load sharing problems are there, but in different manner. Okay, now so we will discuss in tomorrow class how we can share the load among the two units. Right. So today class is about like this. So I'm going to end this class now.